What is going on, y'all? I hope you're having an amazing Saturday, and I'm out here on the first riding day of 2026. It's about the last week of February, and we're having one of those typical southeastern spring days where it's cool but warm enough. It's supposed to get to about 63 degrees, and right now it's somewhere upper 50s. I'm a little cool, a little nippy, but I'm feeling really good. And I want to talk to y'all today about the one modification that I have not made to this bike that I'm just dying to make. And we're going to actually make that mod today and take the bike back out for an evaluation. So let's get into it. Oh, the bike is running amazing. It's loving this cool air. The tune I put on it last year is just fantastic. But let's pull over here and I'll walk you guys through what I've done really quickly and the one thing that I need to do. So if you've been following this channel, you'll know I've done a lot of little things to this bike, starting with the windscreen, the crash bars, the kick-ass air intake, the S&S slip-ons, which I love the look of and they're not too loud. And I finished up the season by installing this Edward Ritchie sissy bar, which is so cool, and it's going to give me so much utility when I'm out camping this year. But as you can see, there is one major problem with this motorcycle, and it's this. Now, this seat is the Harley Davidson Sundowner seat, and it came with the bike. And I'm not going to get rid of it, but I am going to take it off today and swap it out. And the main reason is this. It's like a muffin top for your seat, right? Not a good look for a Harley. So the seat that I bought is the Saddleman Fastback style seat. It's the black one with the diamond orange stitching that you've seen on so many of these street bobs with this color scheme. And I'm just super pumped. So I'm going to hop back on the bike, ride back to the house. We're going to put it on, take a look at it, and go for a spin. It is such a stunning day, y'all. I've had some personal things to deal with, and you know, I ended the riding season last year on kind of a low note with some health issues, and they seem to be behind me. So getting out on this bike, new year, first riding day of the year, it is just I can't even remember how to use the damn bike. Oh man, it's been a minute, right? But it is just magical. You know, motorcycles, for those of y'all that haven't been on them, they're like therapy. If you are a motorcyclist, and if you're not, then I suppose they're quite stressful. But I've got this lovely area to ride in, and it's a beautiful day, so life doesn't get a lot better no matter what you have in it. At least not for this guy. And I'm really glad, you know, that I bought a Harley, because it has been an amazing change. And I just love that torque. It's such an awesome bike. And when you have something like this, you can just put on the cruise control and deal with it, which is super nice. All right, I'm out here with my dog Desmo. Hey girl. She was named because I like other bikes besides Harleys. And if you like the name, awesome. But I'm so pumped to get this seat. Now, I can't even remember who I ordered it from. I'll put it in the lower third, but it came out really quick. This is the first time I've seen it. It has required so much willpower to actually not look at it before the video. Wow. That's beautiful. Let's see if I can get a shot of this without the dog. Yeah, the dog likes it too. Well, maybe not. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous construction. I love the carbon fiber type material on the seating surfaces. The stitching looks awesome. This Smells awesome. Let's get it on the bike. You know, I'm a guy, so I don't like to read directions, but you're supposed to remove this and flip it around. I didn't do that because I'm stupid, so I'm going to do that now, and we'll get the sucker on here. So you can see here, I put this underneath here to protect the fender from the metal tab on the seat. And that's all that is. I got this thumb screw off of Amazon. I will put the name up on the screen in the lower third. But yeah, look at that. No gap. I love it. No gap. There was a kind of gap with the other seat, and like I said, it wobbled. No wobble. Huge upgrade. And my God, that looks absolutely epic. All right, it is actually a couple weeks after recording the opening segment of the seat review, and I had some technical glitches, so I had to wait. There were some life things, but I did get out on this bike for a couple of rides, and I decided I'd rather spend some time understanding the seat rather than just give you like a first impressions, right? Because it would be more helpful if you understood what I really thought about the seat, and it'd be more helpful if I understood what I really thought about the seat. So, after having spent some time with it, I have a lot of thoughts. First off, as you can tell, I love the way it looks. There's no reason to spend any more time on that other than to say that after several weeks, I still love it as much as I did the first minute that I saw it. And you know, sometimes you have a honeymoon period type reaction to something. Not the case with this seat. The second thing that really kind of caught me off guard was the support in this seat is so much more prominent than the seat that came on this bike, which was the Sundowner seat from Harley Davidson. Now look, I'm not saying the Sundowner is a bad seat. If you and a passenger want to go for a ride all day, it's a great seat, and I'm actually keeping mine for that exact reason. I'll just swap it out. But I didn't realize how unsupportive the seat was in terms of lateral movement. So when I would do things like this, I would slide back a little bit in that seat, and as a result, I would compensate ahead of doing that by kind of getting into a fighter stance, right? Kind of bending the elbows and leaning forward a little bit. And that actually limited my control or sensation of control through the handlebars, because the pressure was being put on the front of my grip right there, right? Instead of back into my palms where you would expect, because I was holding on. Well, now I don't have to do that. I can roll on the gas, and because I'm so planted, I'm so locked in to this seat, I have what feels like total control. And that is an amazing feeling I've never really experienced on anything outside of a crotch rocket, where the seat obviously locks you in. Well, now this seat locks you in, and you're not having to deal with all the ergonomic challenges of a crotch rocket. I've got forward controls. I've got mini apes. I'm riding in this super badass sort of like clamshell type posture, and I'm totally locked in with the seat. I can't say enough good things about this. Ergonomically, this is a huge step up if you want to do some more sporty riding, or if you felt like you were moving around the seat a little bit because you're like me and you feel like every stop sign is an opportunity to test your acceleration and your gear shifts, right? Now, the most obvious thing to talk about with the seat is got to be the comfort, and I was already in a very comfortable seat, so That's not why I chose this one, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending upon how you look at it, I haven't had the opportunity to spend any time on a stock Street Bob seat. I hear they're terrible, so I can't tell you how much better this seat is than that. But what I can tell you is, comfort wise, this seat doesn't seem to be that much of a step down from the Sundowner. The only thing I notice, and it's not an uncomfortable thing, is that there's less support around the inner thigh to groin area because the way this seat is tapered. That's likely a good thing if you're short, like really short, because I don't see how the other seat would have prohibited you from touching down. But if you are, and you thought the factory seat or the Sundowner seat was a little too tall on this bike for whatever reason, this seat could give you some extra clearance because your legs can go straight down a little bit easier. You still got the width of all the junk down there, you know, the primary drive and all that to deal with. So I don't know how much practically it helps, but just moving around in parking lot type situations, I have found that it's pretty helpful for me to get a little more leg muscle deployed when trying to back the bike up, for example. Alright, now that we've dispatched a Jeep and got stuck behind another mall crawler, let's talk about cornering. I will say that I feel like I can ride this bike a little more aggressively simply because I'm in more control. But I've also found that because the seat has a little bit less padding, or at least it's a little bit firmer, it tends to transmit more road feedback from that rear shock into my butt. So as long as the pavement is smooth, I can attack it a little bit harder on this bike. However, if I'm on less than ideal pavement, I tend to actually ride with a little more care. I think these are both positives. You know, it's always good to know what's going on with your suspension and your tires, right? And the fact that the Sundowner seat isolated you from some of that in the corners might not have been a good idea. I never had a problem where the bike wanted to step out in a corner. Thank God for that. But I suspect that I'll have even less of an issue with it now, simply because I have a greater amount of control, or at least awareness, if you will, of what's happening back there. Alright, I am absolutely pleased as punch with this seat. It looks fantastic, it's comfortable, the quality is so much higher than the Harley. There's no wiggle up here. I don't know why Harley can sell you a seat with a straight face and charge what they charge and the thing wobble around. No clue. And guys and gals, sometimes you make mods on your bike that you're not sure about. Like, you're glad you did it just to find out if it was a good mod, but you're not sure if it's actually a pro or a con. I kind of feel this way about this sissy bar back here. It looks cool, but it's a little bit too narrow, and it's caused issues with my my sissy bar bag setup. More on that in a video coming soon. And I kind of wish it was a little bit taller and a little bit wider. Just looks a little bit too petite back there, which is funny because I was worried it was going to be too big. Now I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger. And these, super cool, but I'm kind of not sure about them either. I don't know. I'm 50-50. I can kind of take them or leave them. They're definitely functional, so I'm glad I have them. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I hope you liked the video. Consider liking and subscribing to support the channel and help it grow. It would mean a lot to me. If you have any thoughts or comments about the seat, put them in the comments below. And until next time, ride safe.